Hey guys, I hope you're having an amazing day. So today we're gonna cover upcoming changes in Battle for Azeroth's pre-patch. The pre-patch is speculated to come out on the 2nd of July in the US and on the 3rd of July in Europe, but this is probably unlikely due to the American holiday 4th of July. So the next possible dates are gonna be on the 10th of July and on the 11th of July, but hopefully it comes out sooner than later. So first up we have the two new scenarios, which is a huge part of the pre-patch, and with them comes two new mount rewards, the Undercity Plaguebat and the Teldrassil Hippogriff, which might or might not get removed once the pre-patch is over with, so make sure to get them during the pre-patch. Also, I know that some of you might not be as excited for the Lordaeron scenario because you probably already played through it or watched someone else do it. However, we're still missing the final cutscene, which I'm pretty excited to see, even though I've played through the scenario more times than I can count. Another thing I'm excited about is the Teldrassil questline, because, well, we haven't seen all of it yet, and I can't wait to figure out who burned down the tree. Was it Sylvanas or was it someone else? Come on, Blizz, give us some answers. As you might have heard, there are gonna be some changes to our lovely artifacts that we have had for 2 years. I know, time goes by so fast. I can't believe that it's already been 2 years, but sadly they are being retired once the pre-patch goes live, and the actual quest is already up on the PTR, so you can play through it yourself. So basically it means that our artifact power is getting drained because we are sacrificing it to draw out the darkness from the Sword of Sagaris. You know, the big sword in Silithus that everybody seems to have forgotten about? Yeah, that one. If you think that it's a bummer that the artifact traits are going away, don't worry, because some of them are still gonna be there, but they will be talents instead of traits, such as Phoenix Flames for the Fire Mages, just to name one. And as for our relics, don't worry, they will still be active. Up next we have the item squish, which basically happens every second expansion, so it shouldn't be a big surprise that they decided to do it right now. The eye levels are getting way out of control, and the same goes for the DPS. I mean, sure, it's fun to see high damage output numbers, but get ready for the small ones during the pre-patch. Talking about damage, the GCD changes are also coming up. Now, I've heard many tanks complain about these changes, but if you want to check them out for yourself, go visit Wowhead. While we are on the topic of class changes, we're also getting the new talents during the pre-patch, and to be honest, I'm pretty happy that we're getting the changes before Battle for Azeroth. I mean, there is nothing worse than going into an expansion without having a chance to test out the new features first. Sure, the class changes are designed for 120, but at least we can get used to some of the changes. Now, moving on to one of the less popular changes, we have the change to the loot distribution. Sadly, we won't be able to have master loot on during raids and dungeons within a 10 level range. What that means is basically that everything will be personal loot in Battle for Azeroth, and obviously this will affect the loot in Legion as well, since it is within the 10 level range. But if you're farming, let's say ICC or some other raids which are outside of the level range, you will still be able to turn on the master loot. Now to one of the more popular changes. During the pre-patch we'll be getting the long-awaited customization options for the Orcs. It looks like they finally decided to work on their lower back muscles, so you'll be able to make them stand upright at the barber shop. I know, it's a pretty weird place to work out, but I guess it works in Azeroth. However, if you were excited to play as a Mecha Orc before the expansion, I'm sorry to disappoint you because you will have to wait for the actual release. And now moving on to an additional customization option, which I bet some of you have been waiting for ever since the data mine. Yes, you guessed it, of course I'm talking about the Blood Elves. You'll finally be able to change your sexy Blood Elf's eyes to yellow. So you know what they say, better late than never, especially when it comes to Blizzard. Now, as a core part of the game, guilds are finally getting some UI updates as well. However, the feature I'm mostly excited about are the new communities, which are actually quite similar to guilds. Basically, you'll be able to join multiple communities, so you can have one community for your Mythic Plus friends, another community for your real life friends, and so on. And yes, you can join Cross Realm as well. I'm pretty excited because you guys will be able to join the community in the game as well, and that makes it a lot easier for us to play together. I think we can all agree that the PvP system sucked in Legion, but we're finally getting some changes, and the biggest change is the War Mode. Whenever you have War Mode activated, you'll be paired with other players who have theirs activated as well, and basically this means that the old traditional PvP realms will be gone once the pre-patch hits the live servers. I kinda like it because they're adding some more excitement to the game, especially with the new airdrops that we have seen in other games. So basically it's gonna be similar to the Stratholme Arena, where you will have to fight against other players to loot the chest, and I've had some of my best PvP experiences in that arena, so it's gonna be good to see it in the open world as well. Now for some changes that I haven't seen too many people talk about. The hunter pets are getting some visual updates, which is about damn time because some of them look very outdated. And we're also getting some visual updates for the battle pets, which are pretty outdated as well. I know some of you might not be happy about the updated models, but I'm pretty happy that the overall game is gonna look a lot better than it did in 2004. So even though this might be a small change for some, it's a pretty huge change for the overall aesthetic of the game. The pre-patch also means that some things will be removed, and one of the things that will be removed is the Mage Tower artifact appearances, which I would advise you to get, especially now that it's a lot easier. Another thing that's being removed is the elite PvP sets, which might be a bit more difficult to get, but the set look outstanding, so I would suggest you to get at least one if you can. Now, if you're into achievements, I would recommend you to get the first aid achievement because they are getting removed as well. So if you like unobtainable achievements, these ones are for you. While we are in the topic of achievements, the chosen achievement from the Trial of Valor and the Head of the Curve for killing Argus will be removed, and the same goes for the Brawler Guild achievements, which shouldn't be too hard to get. There might be some more things that I missed, but feel free to add them in the comments below. So that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel as well. And a huge thanks to my Patreons and to everybody else watching. And remember guys, always stay positive no matter what. See you next time.